Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me, boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Monday, and it certainly is a happy Monday for me because I have the day off today, and here we go. I went and I got my hair done. I got the color refreshed, so here we go. Most importantly, I got the grays covered. I'm gonna hop into today's Man Crush Monday. Today's Man Crush Monday. I teased it yesterday, and I said that it was going to be on a man who has a new movie coming out this coming Friday. And that's true, because today's Man Crush Monday spotlight is on Chris Pine. He does have a movie coming out on Friday, and that is Dungeon and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. But we're going to go back and take a look at some of the other things he did. Chris Pine, he was born in LA, California on August 26th, 1980. A little bit of background on him. He comes from a family of actors. His dad was an actor who co-starred on Chips. His mom was an actress. She's a former actress turned psychotherapist. He made his professional debut on the small screen in 2003 in an episode of ER. His first movie was The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement, where I believe he played Anne Hathaway's character's love interest. 2006, he was with Lindsay Lohan in Just My Luck. Also that same year, he was in two other movies, Blind Dating, and also he's part of an ensemble cast of Smoking Aces. That movie had Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, and Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman, let's just be honest, Jason Bateman gets better with age. 2008, he was in a dramedy called Bottle Shock with Alan Rickman. That was not a big giant success, but I looked into it. It was based on a 1976 wine competition that was phrased, or that was termed, or was called the Judgment of Paris. And it was this wine competition where in a blind taste test, a wine from California actually beat out the highly favored French wine. So that's what that was about. 2009, he starred in Star Trek as Captain Kirk. Same year, he was in the movie Carriers, which was a post-apocalyptic film, and also a short film called Beyond All Boundaries, which was narrated by Mr. Tom Hanks. 2010, he was in the movie Small Town Saturday Night. Also, he had a voice role in Quantum Quest, a Cassini Space Odyssey. He was also in Unstoppable. That was with Denzel Washington. That was filmed right here in Western Pennsylvania. And now I don't know if this is still true, but as of 2020, it was the most expensive movie to be shot in Western Pennsylvania. And I do remember, because at the time I was working in downtown Pittsburgh, and I do remember in the local news, there was a story that they had to shut the filming down for a day because there was actually a train derailment during the shooting. And in 2012, he had quite a few movies, which included This Means War with Reese Witherspoon, People Like Us with Elizabeth Banks, and also he was part of the movie Rise of the Guardians, which was a 3D computer animated fantasy action adventure film from DreamWorks. That's a lot. That's a mouthload. That's what she said. Anyways, 2013, he went back to Star Trek. It was Star Trek Into Darkness, which was a sequel to the 2009 film. 2014, he joined the Jack Ryan franchise, and he was in Jack Ryan: Shadow Recruit. He played the main character, Jack Ryan. And with that, he was the fourth character to play him after Alec Baldwin, Harrison Ford, and Ben Affleck. And I believe they also added John Krasinski to that lineup when he took over the role on Amazon Prime. Also in 2014, He was in Horrible Bosses 2. He was also part of like an all-star ensemble cast for Into the Woods. And that was a musical fantasy film that was adapted from the hit 1986 Broadway musical of the same name. And when I say an amazing, like, star-studded cast, it had everybody. It had Chris Pine, it had Meryl, top of the hill, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Anna Kendrick, Johnny Depp, Christine Baranski, tons of other people. 2015, he was in Z for Zachariah. Now, that was a sci-fi apocalyptic film that starred Margot Robbie. He also did a documentary, and the documentary that he narrated was called Figures of Speech, and it followed 4 duo teams around the country, and these were debate teams. 2016, he was in a Disney action film. It was called The Finest Hours. It was starred, one of the stars was Eric Bana. One of his co-stars was Eric Bana. He was also in Hell or High Water. He was in Star Trek Beyond, and along that whole theme of Star Trek, he also was in the documentary called For the Love of Spock. And that was, I believe it was a documentary that was made by Leonard Nimoy's son. And it looked at Leonard Nimoy's life and his career and how the character of Spock and how him playing Spock had impacted his life. I don't know that all of it was necessarily that great. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it and I will let you guys know. 2017, he was in Wonder Woman. 3 years later, he went back to the franchise and he was in Wonder Woman 1984. 2018, he was in A Wrinkle in Time. That was a really super big budget movie that was, I believe it was a flop. It had Reese Witherspoon, Oprah, and Mindy Kaling. He was also in The Outlaw King, and he was also the voice of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That was the winner that year for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. And in 2022, he was in The Contractor and All the Old Knives, which was a spy film. And he was also in Don't Worry, Darling, with Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde, a whole bunch of drama. And I think I've given my thoughts on that. It was not great. So, I mean, if you missed it, you missed a lot. It wasn't that great. And then, as I had stated, next Friday he has Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, and one of his co-stars in that is Hugh Grant. So, interesting stuff. I mean, he has stayed active throughout all of his years. As far as upcoming projects, the upcoming project that I saw that he has is that he's going to be making his directorial debut with the movie Pullman. He is a producer, he is a director, and he co-wrote it. And it's some of the stars that are attached to it are Danny DeVito, Annette Bening, and Ariana DeBose. Some of the charities that he has attached his name to and that he has supported throughout the years are the Boys and Girls Club of America, Children's Defense Fund, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. He has done a lot of work on behalf of the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. I believe it was last year. Him and his dad had co-hosted the Children's Hospital LA Gala. And he has done quite a few visits to the Children's Hospital of LA. He has donated, not just pledged. He doesn't use those two synonymously. He's also worked with the Orchid Foundation, and he has done a lot of work with and supported this foundation or this charity called Milk and Bookies. I've never heard of it. I looked into it. It was founded in It was founded in 2004. It's a nonprofit organization that exposes young kids to how great it feels to give back while celebrating the love of a good book. And their mission is to spread the love of reading to those who just can't afford their own books. And it helps with the literacy, and it helps to build self-confidence. I love that. I really, really think that is such a fantastic idea. That doesn't get a lot of, I don't feel like it gets a lot of publicity, and I feel like it should. It's called Milk and Bookies. Now, some interesting facts about Mr. Chris Pine. He has actually made history as the youngest actor to play Captain Kirk back in 2009. He was 28 when he played Captain Kirk the first time, and he made history as the youngest actor to do so. If you are a fan of Chris Pine, then you are called a pine nut. He has a shoe fetish. Now listen, he's not necessarily in the fact that it's men's shoes. He is fascinated with the look of women's shoes. He thinks there's nothing greater than a beautiful woman in a beautiful shoe. And as I stated at the start of the video, he does come from an acting family. His dad was an actor. His mom was an actor before she became a psychotherapist. And also his maternal grandmother was an actor. Before he was an actor, he was actually behind the cameras, and he worked as a production assistant. His first job as a production assistant was actually on Ryan Murphy's TV show Popular. He also prefers a flip phone. He admits that he has an iPhone, but he kind of prefers a flip phone. I like that. I like that he's going back to old school. And lastly, his dream role would be to play Frank Sinatra. So there we go. Kind of interesting. I like it. I think I could maybe see him as Frank Sinatra. I mean, he sings, and he's a very good actor. So I could see it. He could bring the swagger to that role. So please let me know what you think of Mr. Chris Pine. I thought that I would shine the spotlight on him because he does have a movie coming out this coming Friday. I'm not sponsored by that studio or Chris Pine, that I keep saying it, but that's just the reason why I decided to do it. So I'm going to put some pictures here of Chris Pine, and please in the comments let me know of anybody that you would like for me to shine the spotlight on as far as Man Crush Mondays. One of our previous Man Crush Monday recipients actually had quite a bit of success. So congratulations to Mr. Keanu Reeves. His movie, John Wick 47, was it John Wick 4 maybe? Anyways, whichever John Wick it was #1 at the box office. So congratulations, Mr. Keanu Reeves. You will never see this, but we love you. So with that being said, if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.